American Horror Story, standardized testing. Standardized testing. The very phrase instills horror into the eyes of every student. Eyes start to widen, fingers start to cramp in anticipation, and that poor, unfortunate student starts to sweat. In seconds, a once happy classroom turns into a hyperventilating, anxiety-stricken madhouse of weeping students. Students are panicking, demanding answers to frivolous questions a teacher simply cannot answer, such as why, when, and who allowed this. The entire atmosphere is a mess. And all that freak out is for nothing, because in my probably not very humble opinion, standardized tests are useless. Very, very useless with zero real-world life skill outcome. I guess, hypothetically, in a dystopian universe, standardized tests can be useful. If I step out of my standardized tests are ruining my life and schedule perspective, maybe I can scrap up a list of benefits. Maybe it tests your intelligence. Except students are usually stressed, resulting in them not performing to the best of their abilities, thus testing nothing but how the student performs under pressure. Possibly it gives teachers feedback. Except if students aren't performing to the best of their abilities, how will teachers get accurate data? Now, one of the worst parts of standardized testing is how some teachers approach the subject. The approach, teaching to the test. To quote my mother, teaching to the test is stupid and not actual learning. I've never agreed more with this statement. For those who have not heard the term, teaching to the test is an educational method whose curriculum heavily focuses on preparing students for a standardized test. It results in reduced content knowledge. Students also struggle to show mastery outside of the testing format. To quote my teacher, I think my kids are acting out because of the tests. I also agree with that statement. To me, the absolute worst part of standardized testing is the backlash. The backlash includes the following: students acting out, screwed up schedules, teaching to the test, and teachers complaining that they've lost their class time, resulting in them giving too much homework. Expecting students to do an entire day's worth of work at home, get a good night's sleep, and do well in their tests is just too much to ask. This year, my first year in the Utah public school system, I had to take the Galileo tests. The Galileo tests are a standardized test system offered 3 times a year as a pre-test, mid-test, and post-test. They are offered in science, math, and English. They are horrible. Students and teachers were told that the Galileo would be a formative test designed to inform teachers of a student's level. They were instead used to place 8th graders in honors classes. So these statements could very well stem from my frustration of the process, but once having completed the tests, there's a lot wrong with them themselves. To start, the questions are worded and structured nothing like the SAT or ACT. I know many students struggle from test-taking anxiety. One of the reasons my parents had me take the SAT and ACT before I had to as a junior. The only cure to this anxiety is practice. The Galileo tests are not practice. As an honor student, they felt very much below my comprehension level. But frankly, I didn't have adequate time to prepare, so it doesn't really matter. These tests have little impact on my grade or self-worth. Beyond doing my best and checking my answers, these tests have little relevance. My parents also have no further comment. Now, secondly, the time schedule of these tests are very screwed up. The end of year Galileo were April 11th through 20th. There are 30 school days left of school after students are taking the end of year test, a test designed to be a formative review on what they had learned throughout the year. There are often 2 units after these end of year tests. So, on the screen is a picture of the calendar my leadership class created. We had to write down dates relevant to our leadership class. We also decided to include testing dates. Starting in April and ending in May, we have 5 consecutive weeks of standardized testing. That's about 60% of the remaining school days after spring break. It's unbearable. Now, these tests are not an accurate representation of students' intelligence because no one cares. Teachers and students don't respect them, and even the smartest students do not give 110%. The weeks following these tests are a massive review. Teachers assume students do not understand basic concepts because they decided to engage in mindless chatter and childlike behavior during these tests. The Galileo tests had intentions of being a more individualized test, where teachers can individually help students with what they had mistakes on, not with the entire class. Instead, teachers decide to combine and generalize common errors and review for up to 2 weeks, which is 5 class periods, as a class. This review time is unproductive and takes more time away from learning and put to testing. I have selected 2 political cartoons that I feel really visualize the issue with standardized testing. The first depicts the issue with teaching to the test. For those who cannot see, there is a person of authority asking, "So you were educated in the public school system. What does that qualify you for?" The interviewee responds, "Is that a true or false, multiple choice, or fill in the blank question?" What's wrong with that? Many things. I see students in my classes responding like that when being asked a verbal question. Huh? Students are being taught to respond like that in class and out. The second depicts student opinion of administrative dedication towards testing. For those who cannot see, there is a flag with standardized testing written on it, and 3 figures of authority saying, "We pledge allegiance." Teachers and students are cowering in the corner. This is a very accurate picture. No one who has been in the public school system as of late would choose more testing. It's just ridiculous. To conclude, I would like to leave you with a quote from President Obama. "If our kids had more time in school, what would you rather they do? A, learn to play a musical instrument. B, learn a new language. Or C, learn to code HTML. Or D, take another standardized test." I hope your answer is not D, because if so, you truly are living in an American Horror Story. Thank you.